What does mental pain feel like? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about good communication, about calmness, parenting, child development, and I teach through the lens of the principle self-government. In this video, we're talking about mental pain and what it feels like and what self-government can do to help you with it. Mental pain sounds pretty acute. In fact, it sounds really personal, and it is. We're going to talk about the personal nature of mental pain, what a person experiences when they go through mental pain, and what we can do to try to help ourselves or help somebody else who's experiencing mental pain. Because mental pain can actually lead to some pretty negative outcomes if we're not careful. Mental and emotional pain can seem worse sometimes than physical pain. In fact, I would say that for most people, they are more devastated with mental and emotional pain than they are with physical pain. Physical pain is a little bit more manageable than mental and emotional pain because you don't have to change your mind as much to manage physical pain. And so that's another thing about mental pain, is it's a deeper type of a pain, and it actually has the ability to affect your physicality as well. Because of the acuteness of mental pain, that's why sometimes people will even do things that actually hurt themselves. I'm sure that you've probably seen somebody in a state of mental pain. What does it look like? It could really probably benefit other people watching this video if you put something in the chat about what the mental pain looks like or feels like for you. And, let's not stay in the place of mental pain, but let's help people recognize it so that we can move on. So leave us a comment. Mental pain most often starts when a person begins seeing themselves in a negative light, when they start focusing on all of the bad things that they see that they've done or the mistakes that they have made. That's one way to stop yourself from going in the direction of mental pain too, is recognizing, wait a minute, I'm looking at the negative, I'm looking at the bad, I'm being pessimistic. People who are perfectionists often struggle with getting into a place where they start beating themselves up and then feeling bad about themselves, feeling like they're no good, they don't feel like they have value, just going down that really depressive track. So when a person is in a state of mental pain, very often they also are experiencing some depression, whether it's circumstantial or clinical. It could depend upon the circumstances, but oftentimes if they're really describing what's going on inside of them as this is pain, this hurts a lot and I don't know what to do with it, usually they're also experiencing depression at the same time. And so then understanding depression and what they need for that is also going to be very helpful. When a person is experiencing mental pain, it's important for them to try to live some things that look like normal life. Cook a meal, clean something, go for a walk, see the sunshine, wake up at normal wake-up hours, go to bed at normal go-to-bed hours. Now, if you don't know what those are, normal wake-up hours are any time between 6 a.m. and probably 9 a.m. After that, you have definitely slept in, okay? Normal go-to-bed hours are usually any time between 8:30 p.m. That's pretty early in my mind, but some people do it. And no later than probably midnight, okay? So you have a 4-hour gap in there, but don't be staying up late into the night. And if you can, maybe try to get to bed by 11, 10:30 or 11. That's gonna be good timing. If you are going to bed and waking up with all of the other people, it will also make it so that you feel like, no, life is normal, it's okay. But if you are waking up all night, you're not sleeping, those types of things will make you feel like that pain is even worse than it is. Now, there's something about mental pain. When you've started thinking bad about yourself, it's because you maybe felt like you were judged by another person, somebody gave you some feedback you didn't know how to handle, or maybe you set a goal for yourself and you failed on your goal. Either way, you end up starting with this disappointment. One of the best things you can do is talk to somebody. If somebody has said something to you that has put you in a situation where you are starting to devalue yourself or start to be disappointed in yourself, then go talk to that person and say, hey, can I hear more information about that? And just so you know, I'm a little bit worried about this, but I'd like to understand a little bit more so that I don't have to, have this problem right now. So talk to the person or talk to somebody else who you know is wise and cares about you. That's important. Maybe an ecclesiastical leader, a very trusted friend who would never lead you in a direction toward anything that would harm you. That would be important. So go and talk to somebody. A therapist could work, somebody that you can tell your situation so that they can help you pull back and see what is not seen. Because there's always what is seen and what is not seen. And what is seen can seem so big and so loud that you might not be seeing what is not seen, which is that maybe it's okay for you to experience this and that you can get through it, or that it's not really as big as it seems to you because, right? Those types of things. So just discussing with someone can help you see what's not seen as well. So find that trusted person ahead of time, especially if you know that you have a history of having bouts of mental or emotional pain. Speaking of planning ahead, make sure that you do prepare for disappointment before it occurs. One of the ways that you can do that is by learning a skill. It's a self-government skill. I teach it. It's one of the 4 basic skills of self-government, and it's called accepting no answers. When a person accepts a no answer, because no answers come around us all the time, we always get disappointed in life. A disappointment is simply just something didn't go the way you hoped for or you wanted to have happen. And you know what? That's just another way of saying no answer. That was a no. I wanted it to be a yes, but it was a no. So what do I do with that? When I accept a no answer, I do 4 things. I look at the person or the situation. I keep a calm face, voice, and body. And then I say, okay, that happened. Or I disagree appropriately with someone if I can't. I go talk to them in a really good, productive way, a non-emotional way. Because if you get too emotional about it, then what will happen is it'll actually backfire and make your emotional pain even seem worse. Because if you have a fight or something, you don't want to have that. And then the 4th step is to drop the subject. So if I learn how to drop the subject and to let something go, to not think about it anymore, to instruct myself to just put that thing away, then that's actually a power move for myself so that I don't have to decide to stay in pain. Here's the thing with pain of any kind is pain is usually temporary. That's something we need to remember about pain. We need to remind somebody who's having mental pain or emotional pain, this is temporary, this too will pass. We may feel bad right now, we may feel disappointed in ourselves right now, but we can either use that for a productive thing or a non-productive thing. Either way, it's going to be temporary. So let's just use it. Let's say it's going to be temporary. Let's move on from it, but let's move forward in a productive direction. Let's learn from it in a good way. That's what we need to do. There's a lot more that I would love to share with you about handling mental pain, and so I have created another video called How to Cope with Emotional Pain. So click on the link to that video now.